Greetings, church family. It is so good to see you today on the Pastor's Show. I'm Tom Webster, and I'm here with our children's minister, Melanie Matson. Hi, Melanie. How are you?
I'm good, Tom. How are you?
Great. It's been such a great week and a great month, and everything's going crazy now. School's about to start. All the fun stuff is happening. But before we get to all that, tell me how things are in the Matson household. Are things going well for you guys?
Yes, things are getting kind of busy. We're getting Davis ready to go back to college. He leaves on Thursday for his sophomore year at Baylor, and he's going to be living in an apartment. So we've been gathering furniture and all sorts of stuff to, just outfit the whole apartment. So it's been a lot of fun.
Are you and Craig doing all right as empty nesters?
We are. It's always an adjustment. The house is very quiet when he goes. But we'll just readjust again, and we'll look forward to when he comes home and visits.
Well, you're never there anyway. You're always up here working, so
it does seem to be like that.
Well, thank you for all you do. We have church family. Those of you all know we have just a phenomenal children's ministry here. Just such wonderful work, and how it's been so much fun for me to watch this past year. Melanie, you do such a great job, not only with the children, but with the workers and the organization and all the major events and all the things that happen. So we're very grateful for you and the work that you do. And I just pray that you are taking care of yourself and doing all the things to make sure that you continue to do it here for many, many years to come.
Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate it.
Well, tell me about Sunday, this past Sunday. There was this fun kind of stir happening in both the sanctuary and in the gymnasium during the 9 o'clock Sunday school hour. People running everywhere, little people running everywhere. What was all that about?
Well, we had our promotion breakfast from kindergarten to first grade, and all of our families come, and our children that are moving from kindergarten to first grade came, and we introduced them to all the changes that are going to take place this year as they join our first grade class. And so we took them on a tour to show them where the sanctuary was, to show them where the gym was, so they would know where Summit and Celebration met. Also how we leave out of those services to go to kids worship, and just the fact that they're going to be in big church for the first time. We did a lot of talking about that, and they did a scavenger hunt to find different things in the different areas just to kind of get them used to that space. And then we took them over to the children's building and showed them their new first grade class, and also where we meet for kids worship. It was a lot of fun. We had a great morning.
Their eyes were so big. They were running around and having a great time and looking for stuff. It was just like their whole world was opening up. That's so much fun. I'm glad you did that.
It was great.
Good. Now, Sunday, this coming Sunday, is a very special day because we will be doing our annual education dedication type service. And so church family, it's going to be a special day. So we want you to be present in both Summit and Celebration services. We're going to have guests on campus. We're going to have educators. We have invited educators. We have invited education staff and administrators. We've invited people and from all over the county, all the different districts and private schools and homeschool folks and all that kind of stuff. And some of them will come. Many of them, they have their own churches, but they have responded to our invitations so graciously and thanked us for what we're doing. But we will still have many folks here visiting. And so I hope that you'll come. And don't forget, this is the Sunday we get to wear our education swag. So you can wear your A&M shirts and Texas Tech maybe, or UT Austin, or SFA, of course. But you could also wear it in Nacogdoches High School or Central Heights or wherever you go to school. Just wear your education swag and be a little bit less formal than perhaps usual, but it's going to be a great fun to do that. And I hope that you'll dress the part Sunday. But Promotion Sunday is also the Sunday for all those other groups. So what does that look like, Melanie, in the children's ministry? What happens over there for you guys?
Well, we've got a great morning planned. We're going to have breakfast for our children. Amy Weatherly's doing pancakes and bacon and fruit. And we're going to get to go meet our new teachers and also see what our new classes are like and learn about what we're going to be doing in Sunday school this year. So it's going to be a great morning. We cannot wait for it to start.
That's good. So one last thing, Melanie, I want to ask you about what do we need to be doing as a church this particular time? Yes, we're going to do the dedication time in our service where we dedicate those kids and the work that they're doing. But it's not about a dedication service one time a year. We need to support our children, our educators, all those who work with children. We need to do that all year long. What does that look like? What do you need us as the church family to do, not only for the students and kids that are part of our children's ministry here, but what is the role that we should play in the lives of the children and the educational institutions all across our county?
Well, one of the biggest things we can do, of course, is pray. We can pray for our children, we can pray for our educators, we can pray for our schools. It is so important to cover those people and those children and those buildings with prayer. And we can volunteer to serve in the children's ministry, too. We have so many different areas for people to be a part of. We need nursery help. We need help in our missions groups on Wednesday nights, help in discipleship and art of worship on Sunday nights. There's just a lot of different places that people can plug in and serve. There's even short-term opportunities such as Fall Festival and Operation Christmas Child and our Easter egg hunt. If you don't have a lot of time to give, that's a great place to encourage our children. And so we would love to have you come talk to me. I would love to tell you things about the children's ministry and how you can get involved. But please be praying for our children as they go back to school, and pray for our teachers and pray for our schools. There's a lot going on in this world, and we just need to cover them in prayer.
That's outstanding, and I appreciate that perspective so much. So, friends, we're gonna have a couple of interviews here that I've got some special guests coming. The first one is going to be our Nacogdoches ISD Superintendent, Dr. Gabe Trujillo, and he and I are going to talk a little bit about what's happening at NAC ISD. So, let's go there now. Well, friends, I'm here with Dr. Brandon Enos. Dr. Enos and I become friends through the Rotary Club here in town, and he is the superintendent at Cushing ISD. And Brandon, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Tom. It's my pleasure to be here with you guys.
That's great. So tell us a little bit about the Enos family, how you've just been in the area. You actually live in Nacogdoches, but you're the superintendent in Cushing. How did you get here? It's not been very long. Tell us a little bit about that story.
Well, I was ready to become a superintendent, and I just went to God and I said, where should I lead? You lead me where you want me. And lots of doors closed. It was amazing to watch that prayer whenever you pray to God and you believe that He'll close doors and open the right one. And whenever I first saw the opening for Cushing, honestly, I wasn't sure about the place at all. But again, God knew where I should be and where I should lead. So He brought us here. My wife and my youngest son, who still lives at home, do live there in Cushing. In Nacogdoches with me. And like I did say, I'm the superintendent here in Cushing. So we make that drive every day, and my wife stays in Nacogdoches. She works at Nacogdoches ISD, and she works in their business department there. And we do have 3 older kids. They're out and about doing great things, and that's our family. And we came from Goliad, so that's down in South Texas. So Cushing wasn't really even on our radar. There were so many places that made more sense, Tom, that we would land where I would lead and be there. But again, I prayed to God, and I said, put me in a place where I can make a difference, where I can to help that community. And I really believe that God answered that prayer and led me and my family to Cushing.
That's great. Now, I've not been in Nacogdoches much longer than you, but I tell you what, we have found it to be a wonderful place, a great home, and I know you're finding the same thing. Angel and I enjoyed having dinner with you and your wife not too long ago, and so we're getting to know you guys, and we welcome you to East Texas and wish you just all the best success there at Cushing and all the and her at Nacogdoches. So we appreciate your service to our community and to our children and the children of our community. So tell us a little bit about Cushing. What makes it such a special place? What are you working on? What's the Lord doing there?
Well, we have a lot of things going on. Right now, we're talking about why we choose Cushing ISD. That's kind of the theme for the year. So let me just share that with you and your congregation there at First Baptist. I chose and continue to choose Cushing ISD for 4 reasons, Tom. And first off, the ownership. It's unlike anything I've seen anywhere. The students will stop and fix something if they see it wrong. You don't see that very much anymore. The staff will notify somebody right away if they see something that could be made better. And that sense of ownership, I've been at a few districts and I have not seen that anywhere else. So whenever I was interviewing here and I was able to walk around and talk to some staff members and some students here, that was one of the first things I saw was that ownership. The next reason of the 4 reasons why I chose and continue to choose Cushing ISD is because there is character development here. And again, that it's small town Texas, we focus on educating the whole child and not just, arithmetic and literacy, right? We want to make sure that we build that character. Another reason is the good habits. Here at Cushing ISD, we put first things first. And I'm not saying we do everything right every time, but we tend to get the stuff done that's necessary to lead towards success. The fortune really does favor the prepared. And we prepare ourselves to be in a position where God blesses us here in Cushing. And the last one is just the values. Having that Christian values still ingrained in our school and education is unlike what I've seen many places. And so those are the 4 reasons why I chose and continue to choose Cushing ISD. And so what I've challenged my staff and my leadership team here to do this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing a couple of members of your congregation do this. We have a school board member, Jared Lestraco, and we have Aaron Wyatt, who's a teacher down at the elementary school. So they'll be
good
taking
people.
part of this. They're great people, and we love having them here at Cushing, and I'm sure you guys feel the same there at First Baptist. But what I'm going to be doing is asking everybody to tell everybody else why they choose Cushing ISD, because like any relationship, it's a daily choice. You can choose to be happy where you're at, see the blessings and see why you're drawn there. Or you can forget those things and worry about the problems every day. So what I'm trying to do here in Cushing this year is to remind everybody why we chose and continue to choose where we're at.
Very good. Now, I know you and I know your heart, and I know that you understand how important it is that the community invest in the school district and invest in the children and the workers, the teachers, the administrators, the staff, and all that of a school. So tell us, speak to First Baptist Church for a moment. How can we, as a church, or what's the important role that we can play in the lives of students and administrators and people that do what you do, people that do what your wife does at Nacogdoches ISD in the accounting area, correct? Am I remembering that correctly?
She is. She's in accounts payable is what it is. She pays all the bills.
Very good. So tell us how we, as a church, can support the work of education in Nacogdoches and the surrounding communities.
Well, that's a great question. There's so many things that can be done. First off, we want to build bridges between the public education system and our local churches. Too long in this country, in this state, we've kind of separated that. And I'm a firm believer in that we need prayer in school. With that said, I also understand that we can't force students to pray, so I want to be clear about that. But I do welcome your congregation to contact me or the other leaders here at Cushing ISD and ask for a time to come in and pray with us, for us. What I mean by that is to come in and walk the halls, pray for our staff, pray for our students. There's power in prayer. We all know that. And I believe that the greatest thing we can get from you and your congregation there at First Baptist is prayer. So, I welcome that. Even if you can't come to Cushing, I will ask you to go ahead and just take time. Pray for us as you're doing your other prayers. Pray for not just Cushing, but for the leaders of the other districts in the community as well. And that's really what we can ask from you, and receive from you. And that is enough. And it is now and always will be enough.
Well, that's great. Thank you for that, because previously in this pastor's show, I was speaking with Melanie Madsen, and we were talking about what we're doing Sunday. So we're going to be doing exactly that this Sunday. But we don't want it to be just a one-day, one-service deal, and then we'll see you next year. It needs to be something we do throughout the year, and as we're made known of needs throughout the year, that we take that to the Lord in prayer, and we lift up our our students, the children, the workers, the staff, the teachers, everybody throughout the year, because it's a hard job and it's an important job. My wife also is a high school Spanish teacher, and there are challenges throughout the year, and so we're aware of that. And there's not a single person that has come through, and a single adult that's working in a church or being a part of a church that hasn't been affected by the education system. We all came through it, private or public or homeschool or what have you. We all came through it. We know how that can shape the lives of students. And really that's what you're doing. You're shaping the lives of students. There are so many students who they're the best part of their day, depending on their family life and the situation they come from, the best part of their day is getting off that bus, if that's how they get there, and they go into a school and they spend time with people who are investing in them. And
Right.
and you're doing that. And I thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it so much for all that you do. So is there any closing words there? I appreciate a few moments of your time today. Anything else you want to say to us? And
Well, on behalf of Cushing ISD and the entire Enos family that I have, we thank you for sharing, a little bit about us. We always look forward to share what we're doing here in Cushing, our little slice of heaven on earth. So thank you very much for that.
well, I'll see you at Rotary soon,
Yes.
and I'll also see you. Hopefully in our church at some point when you're here visiting, doing whatever. But our paths will continue to cross, and you're in our prayers. And we thank you very much. Have a great
Thank
day.
you very much. You too.
Well, church family, I have another guest with me today. I'm very excited. You recognize this face, well known in our community. This is Dr. Gabe Trujillo, and we are delighted to have him. He's actually here with me in my office, and we're just talking this a little bit today. And we are so delighted to have you, Dr. Trujillo, as part of our community here. This is now your third year at NAC ISD. So tell me, first of all, tell me about the Trujillo family. What brought you here? How are things going? Tell me a little bit. Let us know who you are.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, it's a pleasure to be with you this morning. I want to thank you for this invitation to be here, spokesperson. On behalf of our teachers here in Nacogdoches and staff, it's a great privilege. I do not take it lightly at all. So first and foremost, I want to thank you for that, and each and every one of y'all. Well, I'm working on. My wife and I are high school sweethearts. We married. This will be 35 years.
Wow.
And we've got 3 beautiful kids that have attended public schools. One is now working for Johnson as an advertising firm out of Dallas. The other one said she would never get an education. And you'll never guess what she's doing. She's an educator and with pre-K, and has been doing that for about 7 years, and an amazing young teacher. And I have 2 good role models with mom and dad. And then my son, who's at Texas A&M. He's a senior. He's just finished his internship with Amazon, so he's got a bright future ahead of himself, and we're excited Deborah and I are both excited about the dedication that our kids have. Deborah actually works with school system and has as well, and she's employed in Henderson ISD as an instructional technology specialist. So she loves to take that little drive. It's a good drive between here and Henderson, and it kind of helps her decompress and come back. And we really enjoy this quaint community. We've come to just sit in the back porch, enjoy the finer things in life. Which is what God has provided us, the beauty and all the things they have that kind of refresh and rejuvenate us. So
That's great.
yes.
Now, this is a big week, and I'm really honored that you took the time to do the show with us
Yes.
today, because school starts next week, right?
Yes, sir.
But you had something very special yesterday. You had the first convocation that you've done since you've been here. I don't know if that's something they've done prior to your coming or not, but tell us about convocation at NAC ISD.
Well, convocation went really well. We're excited for the kickoff for our staff. We have over 1,000 staff members and teachers that were in there. The occasion was joyous and celebratory, and the topic was more of the essence of it's chess, not checkers, and that's basically what we've been kind of navigating these last few years. Checkers is quick and sometimes without thinking, but chess is much more calculated in every move that we have. And then the teachers had a tremendous treat in the afternoon to kind of sit down and enjoy and laugh and have a little bit of fellowship to relax. And that was Eddie B. If you've watched Eddie B on YouTube, he is a popular educator, a comedian. And he came in and got us started off to a beautiful afternoon. And the laughter in that room fills your heart, fills your spirit, and filled a lot of buckets so that we can get started on Monday and have a tremendous school year with our kids.
Well, that's great.
Yes.
Now, church, as you know, through the pastor show today, we are preparing for a wonderful service on Sunday. We have our educator and student dedication service. And so I wanted to ask Dr. Trujillo a little bit about what we can do as a church. Now, this Sunday is going to be a very important day. We're going to pray over the educators, the staff members, the students themselves. We're going to dedicate the year to the Lord because we know that for many of these kids, the best part of their day is when they walk into that school. You know, they may not have good family lives, they may have struggles at home, and they walk into a place where people love them and take care of them and educate them, and it's so important. But what can we do as a church to support the work of the educators, to support the children themselves, their families? That's a very important part of community.
Absolutely.
Help us to know what to do.
Well, obviously, the prayer is something that is absolutely necessary. You know, we start off this year with heavy hearts for the small community of Uvalde and the beautiful lives that were lost and the educators that were lost there. And we continue to think about things that we can do better, not only as a school system, but as a community, and also with our faith-based organizations that we have. And so, first and foremost, I want to make sure that we don't take that lightly with that. We know the fear is there with our families coming into another school year, but I want to make sure and reassure everyone that is our priority, is maintaining safety in all of our campuses. And that comes also in our churches being involved in, not only with themselves, but First Baptist Church and some of our other churches here in town with the Ministry Alliance, something that's exciting where our pastors come together in prayer and fellowship so that we can touch the lives of all our educators. You know, we said teachers touch the lives of our kiddos, but our bus drivers are the very first people that they see when they come to school. And so our bus drivers can see a child as they're coming in, if they're coming in with heavy hearts or the worries that they have. So we rely on our bus drivers, our cafeteria workers that are feeding the kids in the morning. They come in, and sometimes that may be the only hot meal that the child has had. And
Wow.
We want to make sure we provide them with the best opportunity there. Our custodial staff that take pride. Those floors, they shine like glass, and they had a lot of pride in getting our buildings ready. Our grounds folks, making our schools look beautiful and maintenance. But most importantly, our teachers, the teachers that tap into the hearts and minds of our students. So as a church and as a congregation, we ask not just for the start of school year, but whenever everything becomes quiet and just the normalcy of the year. When it just happens to be the second week in October or the first week in November, or it might be the third week in February, is to continue to lift in our thoughts and in our prayers the educators and that we have that touch the lives of our students throughout their experience in school, from pre-kindergarten all the way through graduation at the end of the year. I will tell you this, as a congregation, as at churches, if you get an invitation from a young man or a young lady and they have an event, whether it's at the stadium or if it's in a band hall or if it's in a performance hall, and they ask you to come, just know that you might be the only person they've asked. So we ask you, come and celebrate, come and see our kids perform, celebrate them, encourage them, because that's something that we all want for each other, is to rally around our kids and say, you matter to us, and we value you as an individual. So just know that even if you don't get an invitation and you know that there's an event going on, come by and look at it. Can I share one story with you?
Do it.
We had, I was just reading a little article about 5 Eagle Scouts. I didn't know the kiddos. And it was here in a local church that they were going to do the ceremony. So I quietly stepped to the back of the room and I sat in the back. I've been a former Scoutmaster, and I brought my own son from Tiger all the way to Eagle. And I know the work that these kids did with Boy Scouts. I know the leaders with Wood Badge and all the training that they do, and especially the dads and the moms that sometimes in those cold nights and those campouts, the dedication they had. So I sat in the back of the room. I received no invitation. The only invitation I received was that conviction in my spirit to come out and celebrate these 5 young men that are getting their eagle. And I sat in the back of that church quietly, I celebrated with these young kiddos as they got their Eagle badges and saw the pride in their face. And then I quietly walked out of the room, not to make an impact, but knowing several weeks later, I ran into one of the boys. And he was here at I believe it was at Walmart. And he said, "Mister, I know you're the superintendent. I just wanted to tell you thank you for coming to my Eagle ceremony." And that filled my spirit. So come out, join, celebrate our kids. Any event that we have, whether it's local or away, it will mean the world to our kids every single day. So I would challenge us all to do that for our children.
And I hope you will go to a sporting event, an arts event, something going on at the school sometime this year. And it reminds me that we're always about the work of inviting people to our church. In fact, we're doing that for this Sunday. We want people from every school district in the county, and homeschoolers and private school folks to be here to be a part of our dedication service. So, if we can invite them and expect them to come, we need to remember that it's our responsibility to go support and encourage them and to put things that they're involved in as well. So, Dr. Trujillo, thank you. Thank you for being a part of the program today, and I wish you well this week, and it's going to be a great year. I'll look forward to lots of updates when I see you around town and in various places, but God bless you.
Yes,
we're
sir.
praying for you, and I hope we'll see you very, very soon.
Absolutely, we're excited. Watch out for the school zones. They start blinking and kids are walking. And driving.
Very good.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you, Dr. Trujillo and Dr. Enos, for being a part of the Pastor's Show today. It has been a great time together, and I appreciate all that you're doing, and especially you as well, Melanie, and all of the educators, all of the people that work with our children in our church and in our community and throughout the Nacogdoches County. So many good things are happening. You noticed a theme that both Melanie brought up, as well as Gabe and Brandon. They all said the most important thing we can do is pray. There are places to serve, and we want you to serve, but something that we can all do every day is pray without ceasing. And so let us commit ourselves to doing that. Let us commit ourselves to worship on Sunday morning. Again, come on this Sunday morning and wear your academic or education swag, and we'll have a good time together. And I'm going to ask Melanie if you would close us out in a word of prayer, and let's have a good time the rest of the week, and we'll see everybody on Sunday.
Father God, thank you so much for the opportunity to serve you, Lord. Thank you for our children. Thank you for our educators. Thank you for our administration. Thank you for our schools, Father. Show us how we can be involved, how we can be encouragers, how we can lift each other up, Father, and just be there for our children. And Father, we just pray for this new school year as it starts. You will give them strength and courage to face all the difficulties that come this year, Father, just to rejoice in all the good things that happen this year too. Father, we just love you so much. We thank you for our church. We thank you for just the opportunity that you give us to show your love to other people. We love you. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Have a great day, everybody. Thanks, Melanie.